Maybe it'll work like this. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome. All right, y'all. So, this is the final Trauma Terror Thursday of 2021. And I wasn't going to disappoint. I wanted to make sure that I got this live in on y'all. So, for those who are able to come, here we are with some final thoughts from the Orisha Tarot. Some keys of the Orisha Tarot. So, yes, all day I've been trying to get this done, y'all. All day. So, hopefully, we can get this done with no interruptions. Let me tell you, recovering from the meanest, stomach, whatever it was. I called it food poisoning, but whatever. So, had to get that sneeze out, y'all. All right, let's do it. Trauma Terror Thursday. Got my Florida water. I don't know how many cards we gonna pull, but today is Thursday, um, December 30th, 2021. Here go the book. Boom. I'm gonna be reading straight from the book. And here go the cards. So yeah, y'all see me every time. Take them right out the box. And this is what we got on the bottom. But we gonna go ahead and we gonna cleanse these bad boys. We gonna see what the ancestors got for us today, y'all. We gonna see what they got for us. So my dragon's blood sage, she'll talk about it. I like to burn all my sage, y'all. I don't even care. And yes, I have an abalone shell. Yes, I do. Got a whole one right here. I don't even. So we gonna cleanse these cards for the collective. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome. Hey, girl. Hey. So yeah, I was making it a point every other week on a Thursday to get some trauma messages from the Orisha. So today, it just so happens, is the final Thursday of 2021. Hey, girl. Hey. I'm sorry, I didn't even get a chance to see the message until just now. And yeah, so we cleansing these cards. Thank you so much. All spirit guides, Orisha, ancestors alike. Thank you. We cleansing these cards, y'all. We cleansing them. Y'all see me. Shuffling away. We're going to get ready to get into these messages. I don't know how many cards I'm going to pull. I know it's the last day of 2021 as far as Trauma Terror Thursday. What I do, all right now, is I shuffle. Y'all see me. I shuffle. I pull the messages and I read exactly what it says straight out the book. And you can decipher how it resonates with you. But I wanted some final messages, some final final patakeys of the Orisha for the end of 2021. Help us out. What we got going on here for the collective? What are some things we can live up to? Some things we can do to, get things ready for 2022. Some pitfalls we can stay away from. Did we heal from the healing? So we got some strength here. Y'all, we got the 2 of Wands. I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know how many cards they want me to pull. I don't know. We got the 8 of Wands, 5 of Cups. And I go in order when I read them too. So, and we got the 8 of Cups. I don't know. There's a lot going on with some healing. I'm trying to tell you, there's some healing, some moving forward, some serious protection, some fighting. There was some secrets that came out. 2021 might have been a hell of a ride for some folk. Is there any final messages? So far, we got 7 cards. This is the final, the last time we're going to do the Trauma Terror Thursday in 2021. We're going to pick it up again next week in 2022. But before we get there, we want to close it out. We want to be able to listen to spirit guides, Orisha, ancestor, whatever messages you have for us. All right, so that Three of Cups came out in reverse. Somebody might need to be wary of some offers being made and celebrating with specific folk. I'm just going to say that. And the King of Cups, there's some serious emotion coming out, y'all. Some singing that needs to be done, some praises that need to be done, some offerings that need to be given. All right, what's the final message right now so far? Today, December 30th, 2021, the last Trauma Tear Thursday. The final message is this 8 of Discs, y'all. So, you sure? Is that the final message? You saying nah? Give them one more. How many cards you gonna have? Here we go, the 3 of Discs. So, there's still some stuff going on, y'all. It's ending with fortune, though. That's all I got. It begins and ends with fortune. All right, so let's talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Is that the final message? Like, before I put these cards away, is that it? Is there any... You sure? Because that 3 of Discs just popped out just all willy-nilly. Is that all y'all got for us right here? Is that all y'all got? Because I want to make sure when I start reading, y'all, I'm giving the full story and nothing but. The full story and nothing but. What's that? The Star says that's the end. The full story and nothing but the Star and the upright. All right, y'all. So we're going to start from the start at the beginning. Now, thank you for sticking around with me. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to start from the start at the beginning because I always just, boom, here you are, the Ace of Wands, and I'm right to the book. So I'm going to read it straight from the book. Ace of Wands. So let's talk about it. Because everybody be like, no, I'm going to read straight from what the Pentakey says. Because you won't. The Ace of Wands at the beginning of things. I'm going to say it one more time. The Ace of Wands in the beginning of things. It is the spark that sets things in motion. It is the will that gives us the strength to begin walking our path. Fire can be the spark of lightning which burns down the forest and brings new growth from what remains, or it can be the lightning of the stove which we sustain ourselves. In the beginning of creation, the world was a burning rock floating in space. Because it was too close to the sun, it was unable to cool enough to allow life to form on its surface. So Shango used his axe and magic to move the planet to its current orbit. In time, the earth cooled, water formed, and life came about. In making a life for ourselves, it can be a heroic effort to bring ourselves to our proper orbit, one that is neither too hot or cold. All right, so this is what it says in divining. This card highlights the need for the person to go start something with clarity and commitment. We cannot know the full detail of the journey ahead, but we must set the process of creation in motion. There has likely been a lot of chaos leading up to this point that needs to be left behind. Spirit has given a clear direction. Start working on it. You still have energy and time if you begin now. You feel where you are called to serve, but your ego holds you back. Do not burn things down just as they are beginning. So solutions, anything inauthentic needs to go. Put your faith in spirit. It says, note, it is customary for the deck creator to sign a card. Being a priest of Shango, I chose to put my name, OBATILEMI, on this card as my signature to the whole of the deck. I placed at the bottom of the Shango's acting difference to my commitments to him as the owner of my head. So the creator of the deck even signed this card. So I'm telling you, it sparks. What it sparks, you need to do what you need to do. That's what it says. So the moon... The moon, look, y'all, I goes right into it. I'm going to tell you. The moon card represents those energies that are strongest in the dark of night. It is a card of mystery, magic, and the unknown. In this card, we encounter the Ayime or Aje. These spirits are often referred to as the mothers, the ladies of the night, or the witches. In truth, they are the female forces living outside of the patriarchal society in which the Orisha traditions originate. They are the holders of the power of women, both magically and in their ability to give birth. Between the figure in the foreground and the sleeping town, we see Oshun standing watch. Ogun tricked Oshun into falling asleep while guarding Yamaya, as Ogun had developed sexual feelings for his mother. As punishment, Oshun was made to stand on guard forever on one leg. Though people spake of the Ayumi as being something outside the Orisha traditions, many Orisha are also Ayumi. Yamaya, Oshun, and other female Orisha might be considered Ayumi. These Orisha participate in, perhaps own, some of the mysteries that people often only associate with Ayumi. That's what it says, y'all. So, divining. This card speaks to mysterious powers that we need to respect. Many people feel that they are dangerous and should be avoided. Some of these are the legacy of patriarchy, and some are raw and primal powers beyond understanding. Psychic and mysterious phenomenon, others interference in your life, adultery, witchcraft, secrets, power, and silence. So, some solutions. Be sure to respect women, spiritual cleansing, stay out of the dark, respect the mysteries, and honor the ancestors. A. So strength is what was next. Strength is what was next. So I'm just saying, here we go. Power and strength come in many forms through the strength card. Some show the idea of force and control. Others speak of it as a kind of spiritual purity that brings power. All right, there we go. Power in the Orisha traditions is equally complex. Certainly, there is physical power as we have seen in the chariot, as well as magical power we have seen in a variety of places. Power might be gained, earned, lost, or stolen. It is also something we must be tended to and preserved. On this card, we see a leopard, one of the clearest symbols of power that shows up in these traditions. The leopard represents cunning, skill, and strength all rolled into one. Its spots allow it to stealthily track prey, its speed allows it to catch it, and its strength allows it to carry its meal up into a tree where it can protect it from other predators. Yet the leopard is not motivated by greed. It eats what it kills and does not kill for sport. Though most often associated with Shango, the leopard symbolism goes much deeper for people inside the tradition. It is a role model for our lives and our sacrifices. We sing about the leopard and its power, in some ways seeking to emulate the characteristics so that we may succeed in life. In emulating the leopard, we sing so we can find what will sustain us. Acquire it and keep it despite the efforts of those who might also want what we have. So, divining. Though the idea of hunting might feel odd for those accustomed to city life, the idea of being able to get what will sustain us is universal human concern. This card speaks to the need to be wise and cunning. It requires forethought so that we do not waste our energies on things that are not possible. We need to take precaution to preserve what we have so that our gains do not slip away from us. Finally, we need to understand that success is not to be feared but enjoyed. Like the leopard relaxing in the tree with its successful hunt. You could ruin everything with haste. Be mindful of what you share with others. They will use it against you. You see more than others. Be sure to put your vision to use for you and your family. So solutions, y'all. Watch some nature shows of big cats hunting. Do not hide your valuables. They will be discovered. Lock all your doors and windows at night. Make sure you are in good shape and do not ruin what you have built. That's what that said. So let's get on with the 2 of Wands. I'm just here to read. I just read what the card description says. You take what you need to resonate with it. But this has been a common theme. Apparently, some folk need to get it together. The Two of Wands is a card of friction. Often when it shows up in a reading, people are struggling to maintain their independence. With others, they are choosing to be involved with. How this tension is handled will determine whether this is a good or bad thing. In the Odu Ase is the proverb, two rams cannot drink from the same bowl. As this card shows, the butting of heads is inevitable. This proverb speaks to the problem of stubbornness that persisting to push for our agenda brings into our life. Certainly, someone will feel that they lost in the end. Perhaps everything will be lost. Yet it is not required that things play out this way. The water over which the Rams fight could bring coolness to the situation, which could lead to better outcomes for everyone. There is a way for heads to butt in a productive manner, y'all. That's all I'm saying. The hammer strikes the steel and the anvil, working with it to shape useful tools or outcomes. The heat is centered on the task, shaping the metal. The action is not focused on the individuals involved. Unlike the heat in the heart of the Rams, the fire becomes productive and not destructive. So again, you ain't gotta beat up everybody. That's all I got for that. So when this card comes up in a reading, everyone involved is making things work with their stubbornness. Deciding whether or not the situation is workable will depend on the motivations of each side. With a clean heart, the situation could be tremendously productive, but if people are unwilling to change, it is better to walk away. Everyone thinks their ideas are right. People are not in control of themselves. Wanting the same thing is no guarantee of success. Planning and patience are the only way forward. So some solutions. Count to 10 before reacting. Drink a glass of water when you're feeling hot. Take a break and reconsider the whole thing. Take a break and reconsider the whole thing. That's what that says. All right, y'all. So we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep it moving. 5 of Cups. Let's see what they get. 5 of Cups. With this card, we find ourselves feeling nostalgic, lost, and unsure of ourselves. We have lost something that we feel we cannot live without. Yet generally, this card also says we cannot get it back either. Adding insults to injury, we also often lose what we do have by ignoring it, only to pine for what is gone. Oba was Shango's lover. However, she discovered that he had been seeing Oshun on the side. She was overcome with jealousy and went to ask Oshun what she had that Oba did not. Oshun offered to teach her the magic she had used to sway Shango. She told Oba to cut off her ear, thinking more would be better, and put it in his food to bind him to her forever. Oba ran home and prepared Shango's favorite food, cut off a piece of her ear and added it to the okra stew that she made him. When he arrived home and saw what she had done, he was so disgusted he left and When he arrived home and saw what she had done, he was so disgusted he left and never returned. Yep. Listen, you can't be out here. All right, y'all. So it is fine. Divination. It's a fine line between working on things and being moved by desperation. The more we grasp after things that are failing, the more we will suffer. This is true for all situations in our lives, not just love. Ask yourself if it is time to let go and walk away. An embarrassing situation, despair at never finding anything as good as what was lost, relationship issues around commitment or fidelity. The past is ruining the present and future. So, some solutions. Focus on what you have, not what you have lost. If you have left someone or somewhere, do not go back. Do not drink. Don't chase what is running away from you. Don't try to regain what is lost. Do not hurt yourself or others. Be mindful of people manipulating your emotions and look forward to what you do have. That's what that said. So the 8 of Wands. There's a bunch of... Listen. Here we go. 8 of Wands. Energy is abundant when we were talking about the Eight of Wands. It is electric charged and requires harnessing to be put to use. In the Orisha traditions, it is believed that the Ashe permeates everything as it is primal energy that has been around since the moment of creation. When Ashe combines with something, it becomes modified to help bring out that thing's qualities. Stars burn in a sense because of how they manifest Ashe. Ashe can also be bought. Ashe can also be thought of as having a grace for something. For example, people would say that I have an Ashe for dividing. It is my nature to read cards, and when I let it flow, Ashe plays a role in manifesting that skill. When we put our effort into something, we are adding our Ashe to it. Community ceremonies are powerful because everyone present puts their Ashe into what is going on. All the energy they access combined with their skills brings out a better outcome. In a sense, Ashe itself is neutral. Until accessed, it is amoral and can be applied for good or bad. We can curse ourselves by speaking negatively about our value, and in this way direct our destructive Ashe at ourselves. So, divination, y'all. With this energy, we need to question how the person is putting it to work. Are they focused and aligned or hyper and unfocused? Ashe is a thing that can be dissipated and lost if it is not put to work. You have the energy for everything you are working on. The situation is overwhelming at times. If you don't know the outcome you hope for, nothing will happen. What talents do you have or need others to bring? So some solutions: make a clear plan, take time to recharge, breathe slower, ask the Orisha to help you to harness the flow of energy. y'all, there's so much here. There's so much here. There's still so much here. All right, the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups. Listen, I didn't know how many they wanted me to do. So this Eight of Cups, here we go, Eight of Cups. In this card, we work to find a meaning among what has been lost. It is a card that can speak of stagnation, loss, depression, and lack of direction. Here, the attention being turned inward must look to external forces to help one move forward. Spirits of the dead have many different categories in the Orisha tradition. The most common being Egun, who are spirits associated by blood ancestry or initiation to us, and Aranu, the citizens of heaven who are chosen or assigned spirits. In dealing with ancestors, we find in mingling, I'm sorry, in dealing with ancestors, we find a mingling of many other practices coming into the Orisha traditions. The religions of our ancestors, mediumship, spiritism, and variety of traditional ways of working with ancestors all get mingled in many people's practices. You might go to church to pray for your grandmother, see a spiritualist to ask about your mom, and be told to do a ceremony for your father and a shell reading. If all of these things are done as separate practices, everything is fine. However, when people start to try using spiritists or mediums to mark Orisha initiations or solutions, we get into a muddy water where people often lose their way. We end up wandering from God to God, like the Rider-Waite-Smith image of the Eight of Cups, looking for something but not knowing what it is or where to find it. So, in divining, when we see the Eight of Cups, we need to ask what the person needs. If they are unable to tell us clearly, we should ask the oracle first before answering the question the client has. Once we can establish a goal as a point of reference, we can help them navigate there. With this card, people need to find better boundaries with the spirit world, not give it everything. This person is losing faith, the one thing they need most: depression and stagnation, existential crisis where life feels meaningless, a time with no clear direction or end. Gurus should be treated skeptically now, as people will seek to take advantage of you. So some solutions: do not envy what the dead have. End your time of grief, feed your ancestors, and do spiritual mass for the dead. So somebody was sleeping on their talent right quick. That Three of Cups in reverse though. Let's see what it means. Let's talk about it. So with this card of celebration is announced something good is happening and people should get together to honor the good news. Food, drink, and laughter are important parts of of bringing people closer together and building community. At many important ceremonies, people will sit for a formal meal. These events are structured and have many rules at all of them. The younger priests or people serve their elders. At funerals, people sit in order of initiatory age with the place left for the departed priest. It is a time to catch up on the gossip, ask questions, debate theology, and enjoy being with each other. In our busy modern life, it is harder to make time to sit and enjoy a meal with friends. These formal meals may last for hours. Everyone stays where they are until the elder running the event declares it's over. So, this card in divining certainly announces good outcomes and things to be celebrated. It also speaks to the idea of social interactions. If there is a problem around this card, it has to do with people, their actions, and questions of status. In life, there are often some kind of social hierarchy. It may be out of popularity, class, gender, money, power, or looks. In this card, we run into these issues head on. In traditional religious settings, these hierarchies are explicit. As we walk around the world, they are more often implicit and felt than spelled out. Good news from family and friends, big things accomplished, invitation to parties and events, a need to gather people together. So solutions: invite people over for a dinner party, honor the spirits you work with, pay attention to the status and formal settings, be humble, respect your elders, and respect tradition. So it very well could be none of my business, but somebody decided that they was going to start some new stuff and maybe thought that they needed confirmation. That's all I got. And you was watching my channel, but none of my business. The King of Cups. All right, y'all. The King of Cups. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Where you at, King of Cups? Because I'm just gonna read it. I said I was just gonna read it because, like I said, I'm not gonna keep y'all these readings. Just reading the cards go on, y'all. So you take what resonates with you. I'm just gonna read what it said. This card is sometimes said to hold the Holy Grail in one hand. You heard me. It is a card of deep spiritual connection to the other side. Through the energy of this connection, we are able to be healed and reborn. With this card, miracles are possible. Singing is a central practice in the Orisha traditions. Most songs have a call and refrain style with the opon lead singer performing one part and the rest of the people singing the response. It is the job of the opon to use their ashe and knowledge to call the Orisha to be present at ceremonies. They know the art of enticing the spirits into possessing their devotees so they can bring their messages and healing. Many of the miracles spoken of come from the Orisha in the possession state. The singer must know how to coax the Orisha into coming down, when to push, praise, or argue. So, this card always come up, y'all. That King of Cups always come up in our readings. So I'm just going to tell you again, this card walks the balance between control and letting go. The singer must let it out and go with the flow, but still hold to the traditional structure. There is room for artistry, but only to a point. The energy with this card can be overwhelming, and it takes a lot of self-awareness to not get lost as the Orisha draw close to the ceremony. Reach for everything you want, expect a miracle, and work with what you get. Beware getting lost in distraction or intoxicated by circumstance. Do not forget you lead by example. Teamwork is the only way forward, even if you are the star. So solutions: if you don't ask, nothing will happen. Pray loudly. The spirits are hard of hearing. Be joyful in your work and devotion. The figure is the art in which is inspired by the famous Olympia of Pharaoh. I'm sorry, y'all. Here we go. All right, eight of this. Eight of this. Eight of this. Let's get it. Let's get it. This is the last trauma tarot reading. Here we go. Trauma tarot Thursday. Eight of this. In the eight of this, we find the need to work. We find the need for work to be done in the right manner. It is a card where hard work and prudence bring great rewards, and laziness or inattention cause long-term problems. After the creation of the earth, Obatala was sent to create people to populate it. He tried working with sand, but the vessels did not stay together. Bodies made of sticks who failed to work properly. With further experimentation, he settled on making people out of clay along the riverbanks. In time, Obatala got bored with his repetitive work and turned to one of his downfalls for entertainment, palm wine. The more he drank, the less attention he paid to his work. When he sobered up, he discovered that some bodies were missing parts. When the creator found out what had happened, he made Obatala responsible for everyone with gestational issues or who lost part of their body going forward. In part, Obatala's creation of people is why we say that he is responsible for all of the people in the world, whether they practice this religion or not. When we pray and make offerings for people who do not work with the Orisha, it is most often by appealing to Obatala. Just so y'all know. All right, so this card speaks to large goals for the person in front of me. They are certainly capable of doing many things, but you are also your own worst enemy. You will reveal your vice to you. So let's get you a plan to not let it get in your way, and don't be quiet about it. Be sure not to speak of self-sabotage. Be sure to speak of self-sabotage. Something new is being born. Hard work is the only way forward, and someone you are relying on is not paying attention. So solutions: don't drink, be thorough, and do not be an ableist. That's what that said. So as we come to the end, let's talk about this 3 of this. These are the last 2 cards. With the 3 of this, we must speak of success being in the person's own hands. Getting what you want with this card comes from putting all the pieces together and making them work in a coherent way. If the person does this, nothing is beyond their reach. If they do not, their ship will never leave the dock. In this card, we see the 3 main ways in which people overcome the problems they find in life through the Orisha traditions: Iwo, taboo, or what not to do; and Igbo, the making of offerings and ceremonies; and Iwa Pele, the cultivation of good character. Practicing these traditions requires a lot of humility. At the bottom, we see a person saluting an elder. This customary gesture is very foreign to what people may be comfortable with. Both must be humble in different ways. The younger must listen to the elder and respect their Orisha, putting aside their ego in order to learn and grow. The elder must honor and trust must honor the trust given and not allow power to interfere with helping those they are responsible for. So there you go. All right, y'all. So if this card shows up in a reading, it's important to look at what should be done, what shouldn't be done, and the behaviors should be modified to find the right results. All 3 should be talked about. Be mindful that many Westerners despise being told to do or not to do something. With this card, their resistance highlights just how important the limit is for them. The person indulges in things or behaviors that undermine their goals. This person thinks highly of themselves beyond their status. This person takes no action but talks a lot. They already know the answers because they have been told before but did not listen. So make constant offerings, honor the elderly, honor your commitments, and have faith, or your solutions. All right, y'all, this is the last one. The star. Here we are with the star. Final card. The star. The star, y'all, is the final card. Final card. That's 2021. Traumatary Thursday. Here we find our destiny, the interweaving of our material life and the influence of the stars on our path in this world. In the star card, we realize what nurtures and feeds us across many levels of existence. If we are lucky, we also find our star through which we might navigate the rest of our life. The river plays a significant role in the Orisha traditions. It is an integral to many ceremonies. Though we may find many Orisha at the river, it is Yemaya who owns the river and its mysteries. She is one of the Orisha responsible for bringing us into the world, and in many ways is all of our mother. Just as the river brings life to the surrounding areas through providing travel, nourishment, and life preserving water. It is said that Yamaya, in fact, owns all of the river in the world, the ocean, the rivers, and the water in your body. The star is also a card of magic, especially the kinds of magic that comes from the astrology and nature. We see a bird on the far shore highlighting Yamaya's relationship with the Yayami and their magical nature. Magic is this kind, can liberate, empower, and consume a person. So take care to work it deliberately and with consideration. In this card, the bird is on the far shore, away from the more civilized energy of daily life, closer to the wilds of the forest when we choose or are, I'm sorry, called to work magic. It is often something quite apart from the life of those around us. With the star, it is important to be aware that no matter what we hope or wish, it will not come to fruition in a healthily way if it is in opposition to our destiny. This is true of magic and also of work, love, and family too. So, divining, this person is ready to lead a more mystical life in contact with their higher self, destiny, and spirit world. The flow of life is moving them towards who they are not meant to. Who they are meant to be. If they are not paying attention or resistant, they will waste much energy in going against the flow. You are on the right path. Spirit is choosing you for a bigger purpose. Notice where you are finding friction and explore what you can do to ease that tension. So, solutions: hydrate, visit the river and pray for clarity, respect women, and find your star. So, there you go. That was your, here we go, Pat's Key of the Orisha Trauma Terror Thursday. Final thoughts on a Thursday. Yes, the end of December 2021. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all in 2022. Let's make sure that we are taking these wise words and using them the way we need to. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. We out of here, maybe. Maybe. Let's see.